Meet the family embarrassment. My wife's sister sneered that day, her voice carrying across the reception hall like venom. She was talking about me. He works at a grocery store, she added with a smirk, and the groomsmen erupted in laughter. For a moment, I froze, my hands clenched at my sides, heat rushing into my face. It was my wedding day. My wife was radiant. My heart was pounding with hope for the future, and yet in a single sentence, her sister had turned me into the butt of the joke. I forced a smile, nodded like it didn't matter, and walked away. But inside, I was crushed. I'd always been proud of what I did. I worked at a grocery store, yes, but I worked hard. I provided. I believed dignity came from effort, not status. But that day I realized something chilling. The people closest to my wife, the one she called family, didn't respect me. And worse, she didn't defend me. She heard it, she saw it, and she said nothing. At the time, I convinced myself it was nerves, or that she didn't want to start drama on our wedding day. I buried the hurt and moved forward. But the truth is, betrayal doesn't always come as a sudden strike. Sometimes it seeps in quietly, drip by drip, until one day you realize you've drowned in it. The first cracks showed a few months into our marriage. She started staying out late, girls' nights, that stretched until dawn. Her phone became an extension of her hand, always turned face down, always locked. I told myself not to be paranoid, that she was just blowing off steam. Then came the comments. She'd roll her eyes when I talked about work. She'd joke about finding a man with ambition. She compared me to her friends' husbands, lawyers, engineers, men with shiny titles and six-figure salaries. I brushed it off, telling myself it was just stress. But her contempt grew sharper, and the warmth in her eyes for me dimmed. The truth hit me like a freight train one night when I came home early. I'd swapped shifts with a co-worker to surprise her with dinner. Instead, I found her in our bed with one of the very groomsmen who had laughed at me on our wedding day. I'll never forget the way she looked at me. Not ashamed, not broken, just annoyed, like I'd interrupted something important. The man scrambled, half naked, muttering excuses that didn't matter. She didn't even try to deny it. She just sat there, arms crossed, and said coldly, "Maybe if you were more a man, I wouldn't need this." Those words cut deeper than any blade. Every sacrifice I'd made, every long shift, every moment I thought I was building a life for us, reduced to nothing in an instant. I didn't yell. I didn't throw anything. I just stood there, shaking, and felt something inside me die. I packed a bag that night, just like I had on the day her sister mocked me, and I walked out. But this time I didn't smile. In the weeks that followed, the betrayal became public. Friends whispered. Her family acted as though nothing had happened, even justify her actions by saying she deserved better. They painted me as the failure, the embarrassment who wasn't good enough for her. The irony was sharp. The very job they mocked had been the one paying our bills, keeping food on the table, holding our lives together while she sought thrills elsewhere. The pain was unbearable at first. I replayed every laugh from our wedding, every look her family gave me, every moment she chose silence over defending me. But slowly, something shifted. Their cruelty no longer felt like a reflection of me. It felt like a reflection of them. I may have been just a grocery store worker, but I had integrity. I had loyalty. And those were things they would never understand. Months later, I heard she was still with the same groomsmen. They paraded their relationship around like a trophy, a twisted joke at my expense. But behind the scenes, the cracks showed. He wasn't the man she thought he was, and soon enough, her own friends turned against her. Betrayal has a way of coming full circle. Me, I kept moving forward. I picked up extra hours, saved money, and eventually moved into a better place. I rebuilt, piece by piece, not out of revenge, but out of necessity. My dignity wasn't tied to her or her family. It was tied to me and the choices I made. Looking back now, I realize the betrayal didn't start in that bedroom. It started the moment her sister mocked me at my own wedding. And she let it happen. That was the first crack in the foundation, the warning I chose to ignore. I used to think I was a family embarrassment. Now I see it differently. The real embarrassment isn't the man who works hard and stays loyal. The real embarrassment is the family who tears someone down for their job, the woman who betrays vows for cheap thrills, the friends who laugh while everything crumbles. I survived. I walked away. And in walking away, I found something stronger than their approval, my own self-respect. Because in the end, respect is worth more than titles, more than money, and certainly more than the shallow kind of love that disappears when life isn't glamorous. And that is something they will never take from me again.